people. What's up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the KC Chronicles. Let's go. This is session 3. And we have so much more to talk about. So I'm excited. You have your libations. Let's go. Hey. Good to see you. Sup, Shelly? Hey, y'all. We're on Facebook and Instagram here, so I'm back and forth. Before I get started with the next story, someone sent in a question, and I really did realize in your question, they'll probably see this later, but I realized that you were really trying to be careful to not, offend. And I appreciate that, but I also want to say, it's no big deal. I'm not easily offended by far, but it's really difficult to understand the victim's plight if you've never been in that type of situation. So this person wrote in and asked me, basically, they were trying to figure out why I was still dealing with this abusive person as an adult. Like, once you turn 18, you're an adult and you should have been able to walk away. Like, why did you stay there? Why did you keep dealing with this person? You're a grown woman at that point. And I understand that to some extent why they asked, but at the same time, I think this is kind of a part of our world's gap in understanding each other and really appreciating experiences for what they are, like the truth of the matter. It's the same thing where you see a woman who's being physically abused and you try to help her, and then she goes back to that same abuser. So the idea that abuse does not look one way. So it's not this one thing happened and then I moved on in life. For some people, most people, it's a continuous cycle of abuse. So maybe it happened with that one person and then it happened again with somebody else, or it happened multiple times with that one person. So it's not something you could just easily get over. I can't really say that better. Abuse is not something you can easily get over. Even when you're looking dead at how wrong it is, like you see how wrong it is, you see how horrible it is, it's still not a super easy thing to get over. So that's a hard one to explain if you haven't been through it. But also, when you're dealing with a child, when a child has been abused, so if I was 14 when it started, like when the grooming started, then by the time I'm 18, in my case, Stockholm syndrome has set in very strongly. I loved my abuser. When I say loved her, I loved her. I would have done anything to protect her. And I did. I kept quiet for years and years and years to protect her, for her, because I loved her. And that is Stockholm syndrome at its finest. And most young people have that. Most children, when they're abused as children, they have some level of Stockholm syndrome where they will protect their abuser. And, sometimes people will, get away, but not really, because they get away from that one person and then their next relationship is the same. It's the same type of relationship with a different face. Okay. So these people, what's up, y'all? So you're going from one Tuesday and change the angle. Yes, listen, I cleaned up my office and I got my little black couch. I'm on the proverbial black couch with y'all every week anyway, so I might as well sit on the real black couch. And we're going to have all these counseling sessions together. Hey, what's up? Okay. Abusive cycle that takes a long time to get over for the victim. Yeah, and Stockholm syndrome is a mother. It really is. It takes a long time to get over. And not just time. Like, there are cycles to those cycles. Like there was levels to it. It's like peeling an onion back. Like you have to go deeper and deeper every round. And it's not that easy. So I appreciate your question. I appreciate you trying your best not to be offensive, because truthfully, if you say that to anybody else, not anybody, but most people who were abused, they would be highly offended, because you are in essence diminishing their abuse. You're trying to say it wasn't that big of a deal, get over it. And it's just not that simple. It's really not. So I appreciate your efforts in trying not to offend me. But no worries, I'm not offended. I appreciate you asking the question, because most people will just go on thinking whatever they think. They believe whatever they believe, and they don't ask about it. So a person wrote in asking why I didn't just get away from the abuser when I became an adult. So she started abusing you when you were a teenager. When you became an adult, when you hit 18, why didn't you just get away from this person? Why did you continue to let her in your life is what they asked me. And they were extremely apologetic, which I appreciate, but didn't need. So it's all good. It's all good. We're here to learn, and we're sharing as much as we have to give, really. And that's really all it is. So one part that I have to give is that it's not that simple. It's just not. It's not that simple. Stockholm Syndrome is real, and it's pervasive in so many areas of your life, especially from childhood. Now, adults have their own level of Stockholm Syndrome when you begin as an adult with abuse. But if you begin as a child, it is scientifically proven that you get stuck in certain areas of your brain. And so it's that much easier for you to be entrenched in abuse for years to come. Say what's crazy is I would have never known you faced abuse. You hit it so well, like most people do. Oh, I'm hitting the table. Yeah, that's so real. Okay, now this is a person. Okay, we went to high school together, so he knew me in the in when I was in the trenches of all of this crap, and I hit it very well. Like I was good. I should have been an actress. I could have been the next Angela Bassett in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Like I hit it so well. You would have never known. And it's real. You would have never known. I was so good at hiding it because I had a lot of practice. That's what I did from when I was a little kid. So that's what I practiced all my life. That's what I did. It took years. Like I probably didn't even start opening up in those ways until I was like 30 years old. Until I had my first child. So I was like 30 years old is when I first started really opening up and, letting people in, telling the truth in deeper levels, on deeper levels. It was hard. It's hard. It's like you wear that mask until it melts the fuck off, because it's hard not to. Because it's a protective mechanism. You got to protect yourself when you've been abused. And so that was the idea. So yeah, I appreciate that feedback. Hey, what's up? I see y'all on IG. Hey. Okay. So that was our question for the week. I appreciate that. Remember, y'all can send in questions as we go through these stories every week, and I'll tend to the questions and get to the story. So I got a juicy one for you today. Jill, where your friends at? Need to message Ashley and Fee, because them help us in this story. So listen, y'all. Okay, is this number 3? I think this number 3. I try not to jump the gun, but there's so much to talk about, so I'll be getting excited. Okay, so last week we talked about how narcissists tend to be stalkers, okay? Like a forever stalker. They'll never stop stalking you, and that's real, okay? So I told y'all about how Kathy stalked her ex-boyfriend, and I was privy to all of this stalking, and then later on, she stalked me. So in between this time period where she was still in my life in a major way. I'm in college, right? I'm down at CAU, living the life, getting my life on some level. I'm a sophomore and things are going pretty well. Like, I'm doing good. I have friends, been on the step team, I'm doing the mows. I'm having a blast, a whole complete blast. But a part of me is exploring just who I am, like all young people do, right? Exploring who I am. Hey, I see you. You better bring them in, girl. It's like, y'all late. Get your life. So a part of me is exploring who I am, okay? And trying to figure out what I want and, how and all these things. And so I have these friends who were pretty consistent in my life at the time. And Kathy wanted to be friends with every friend I had. Now, red flag number, I don't know, 100. She needed to know all of my friends. Like, there wasn't a friend I had that she really didn't know of. Not just know them like a regular parent, because that was her thing. She played the parent card all the time. So a parent is supposed to know who her kids are hanging out with, right? So she played the parent card, but worse than that, she needed to know how to reach these people, right? In case of emergency, she needs to know how to reach my friends. She needed to know what they were about. So, okay, you're friends with this one girl. Why? What do you like about her? What does she do that is similar to what you do? What are her goals in life? And how do they match up with your goals in life? Like, it was the most, okay? It was the absolute most. But that was her mask of being a concerned mom. And so it came off like she just wanted to, be there for me, and she was concerned. And so those of you who are on Facebook, some of y'all on IG, Facebook, you see these girls in the chat, some of them I went to college with, and they're having these comments about Kathy being nosy and leaving messages on their phone and shit, because she didn't only stalk me, but she stalked my friends. Okay. It's crazy. It's crazy on levels, y'all. You already know that, but it gets worse and better. So let's go. So she would stalk my friends. Absolutely. She had no boundaries whatsoever. And everything she did was was her pretending to be this loving mother, right? So she would call my friends and she would say, I'm just so concerned about Cece. I haven't talked to her in a day, and she's, she got a C on her math test and she's not doing well. And, she might be depressed. She hasn't talked to her mom. Like, she would tell them whatever she thought it took to get them to open up and tell her what I was doing with my life, basically. She wanted to know what I was doing from my friends because, of course, they were the ones closest to me. So they knew what was going on in my life. So she called my friends, all these questions. And not only my college friends, she will call my friends from high school too. She will call my brother. She will call other friends from high school who she thought I might have kept in touch with, like, no boundaries whatsoever. So this particular moment, hey, baby mama. Right. CJ, she had us thinking something was wrong with our buddy. For real. Like, she would have you super concerned. Like, what's wrong with my friend? Why is she, Yeah. I'm glad you ain't say shit, because some people did. And let me tell y'all what happened when they did. So no, there was just one. No, there were many, but today, this one experience. She said she was worse than the feds. She was. And I'm so happy you said that, though, because what she means when she says she was worse than the feds, her intensity level was unsurpassed. Like, she was good at this shit. She should have been a fed. She was good. Her intensity was off the chain. And she dug deep. So it would be stuff you never think of. She just pop up with these sad sob stories and shit that I had no idea about, telling my friends that I'm basically giving up on life. And I'd be like, I'm at a party. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But yeah, hey, Mike, what's up? So this one time, she calling my friends, trying to get information because she hadn't talked to me in 2 days. I was mad at her. So she talked to one of my friends. I won't say her name, but one of my friends, we were fairly new friends. Maybe we had just been friends for a semester, right? So we were getting to know each other. And I was experimenting with this one girl who my friend didn't like. So my friend was mad that I was experimenting with her friend, her I don't know, her teammate really is what it was, her teammate. And so I'm having a blast in life. I'm like, we in college, I'm in Atlanta, I'm having fun, I'm figuring it out. I ain't doing nothing that serious. I'm just having fun, right? But my friend didn't like that shit. So Kathy called her on this one, I don't know, night that just happened to be the right night, and asked her what I was doing. Exactly. She would play on everybody's emotions. So she played on this friend emotions that night, and she got all the questions for her. So this friend, since she was frustrated with me, I don't think she like told her specifics, but she told her enough that Kathy came back and cussed me out on the phone. Like, I talked to so and so. I ain't gonna say her name today, but I talked to her and she told me that you fucking around with this girl. Let's call her Tiffany. You fucking around with Tiffany. I sent you down there to go to school to get a degree, not to be gay, basically, is what she was telling me. Now, remember, this whole time we having sex now. I can't be gay with other people. I can only be gay with her, okay? So she mad as hell. She was so mad. Cussed me out. And I'm mad in return because, one, I'm mad at the friend, but also I'm mad at her because I'm going, how the fuck? Like, how you going to tell me what to do 600 miles away? You in Chicago, dating. She got a whole boyfriend. You got a whole boyfriend in Chicago. You stay your ass in Chicago, mind your business, date this dude, and I'm going to mind my business in Atlanta at school like the 19-year-old that I am. You know what I mean? Like, as a kid, let me be a kid. No, too mad, all the way mad. So she did the most. Yes, Tiffany. Oh my God. Okay, so some of them were there. So Tiffany and I were having a blast, but Tiffany was like, let's say she was a low key hoe. Okay, I ain't know at first, but I found out pretty quickly. She was like a campus hoe, and so when I started playing around, I was like, oh, like I took a wrong turn here apparently, because now everybody know. But it didn't matter as much because I was just having fun. But once Kathy found out, now we got a whole problem. So Kathy cusses me out. I cuss her out back. That's the first time I ever did that, y'all. Like for real, and meant it and hung up on her. Like, fuck her. Okay. Now she's mad maybe for a day or two. Didn't talk to me. I ain't talked to her. But after 2 days, she calls me back and she apologizes for getting in my business. She tells me, you're a young woman, you get to figure out what you want your life to be and blah, blah. She gives me this speech. It would be probably what a traditional mom speech would be if your mom wasn't fucking you. So she gives me this speech and I think everything's settled. So I'm like, okay, great. I get to live my life. So we moving on. Now, maybe 10 days later, Kathy pops up at my dorm room. She just surprises me at school, pops up out the blue. I'm here to make sure you're okay, to visit. Y'all seen this pop up. She just popped up randomly all the time. Okay, so this wasn't new, But this was more random than before, because before it would be like, oh, it's your birthday, so I'm here to celebrate your birthday. I'm here to drive you home for Christmas break so you won't have to spend money on a plane ticket. I'm here for Valentine's Day. She would show up for Valentine's Day, y'all. Doing the most. What's up? For real. Leah, the Kathy was hitting my line in the dorm while I'm trying to smoke and drink on some emotional crap. And I wasn't going at all, so she was mad at me. See, she was mad at Leo because she was trying to hit him up for information and he wasn't going. See, because Leo was in college. Everybody was trying to be a regular college student, like a little teenager, young adult, whatever, 19, 20 years old. Like, everybody's just trying to live their life and figure things out. Like, this is just normal behavior. Like, we're growing up, okay? So, yes, for real. Okay, so she shows up, y'all. And I'm like, usually I'm happy when she pops up. But this time I'm like, so what happened? Why are you here? Now, I am training the dorm step team from the year, or this new year, because I was on the step team the year before. So I have practice on the football field behind my old dorm. Now, there's a HBCU, so in most HBCUs, the dorms have step teams, not just the people with letters. So not just the Greeks, but the dorms also have step teams. So my dorm, freshman dorm, had a step team. I'm teaching. I'm on the teaching staff of the step team. We behind the dorm on the big ass football field practicing, and the band is on the football field practicing because we have a game the next day. Bumstead. See these divas in here. I'm just saying. So we all on the football field, and I tried to leave her in my room because I was like, I have stuff to do. You know, people are counting on me. I got to be there. So I'm gone. You stay here. When I come back, we can hash this out. But right now I got to go. I'm in a rush, right? So I make it to the football field, and the girls are doing laps. So I'm doing laps too, just to get some exercise, doing laps, running the bleachers and shit, having a normal ass practice, normal life for us. Now, this girl, Tiffany, is on the field. She just happened to be out there that day. I don't remember why, but she happened to be on the field that day. So you got the band players out there practicing. And then, of course, probably the dancers is why. Because if the band is practicing, the dancers are practicing too, because they have to perform with the band, right? So this girl, Tiffany, is out there. She on the basketball team. So she don't really belong out here. I don't know what she doing out here, but she here. And Kathy comes to the field. I'm running laps with my team, minding my business. Tiffany probably was out there scouting her ass. But I'm minding my business, running laps. Kathy come out. She's standing, you know, just looking around, probably trying to figure out who is who. So I finally see her and I'm like, I told you, you know, I'll be back in a couple hours. Why are you here? She said, oh, I just want to see what you do. I just want to see, you know, what the team looked like this year, blah, blah, blah. Because remember, she's been deeply involved in all this stuff. So she knows about it. So she's like, I just want to see what the team looks like this year. You know, see how the girls doing. Well, we're not going to practice steps out here in front of other people. We just conditioning. Like, nobody's going to do this in public. So, you know, go back to my room and I'll see you later. She wasn't having it. So we're in the middle of a conversation and it's a little fiery because I'm agitated and she's agitated because she has her agenda basically. And I'm not really, you know, on point with her agenda. So I'm steady trying to send her away and she wants to be there. So we're a little, you know, having this agitated conversation. And then Tiffany sees me. She don't know her, okay? She doesn't know Kathy, but she sees me talking to Kathy, and Tiffany is this tall, like Amazon woman type of build. Like she thick and tall. So she come and she's energetically, she was pretty masculine energetically. So she comes over to protect me because she sees me what it looks like I'm arguing with this random lady. She don't know this lady. So she comes over and she's like, you know, you okay? But she grabs me like this, like puts her arm around me. You okay? Everything okay over here? And Kathy went off. Like, oh, she tried to hit her. I'm about to say she stole on her, but she didn't because it was bad. It was like, I don't even know how that was going to be a hit. Like she reached for her. I don't know. It was weird. But she was trying to hit her. And I was like I had to break up a fight before it happened. Because the truth is, Kathy was like, I don't know, 38, 39 years old. And Tiffany is a 20-year-old college student. Like, how sway, ma'am? Like, you can't be on a college campus assaulting students. You will go to jail. So now I'm worried about her going to jail because, again, remember Stockholm Syndrome. I love her. I don't want her to get in trouble. I don't want her to get hurt. He said big Amazon who will swing on the house. It was so bad. Oh my gosh. But she swung on this kid, a whole kid. Oh, she's like at least 3 of your exes. Oh my gosh. That's rough, Dan. That's all the way rough. Yes, Kimmy. On the field. On the field. So she's like, they're tussling because I'm in between, like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Nope. What we not gonna do is fight, okay? So that's enough for the entire freaking field to pay attention to us, of course, right? So we tussling, no, wait, we not fighting. So now the whole field is like, what's going on over here? Everybody coming over, or at least stop to look. My whole team came over because they see me, what they think in a fight. And so they're coming over to back me up, like, what's going on? We here. And I'm like, everybody, no, 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 no. And the saddest of it all, probably, is that I had to explain, this is my godmother. That's what I told them. This is my godmother. She was just having an overprotective moment. I'm sorry. We're not going to fight. Everybody, get back to what you're doing. Back up. Be cool. But she is standing there cussing this girl out. This girl, Tiffany is a girl. She's 20 years old. Kathy's almost 40. Cussing her out, telling her how horrible she is on level. She don't know her. She don't know nothing about her. All she know is the girl came over to me and put her arm around me, and it looked like we might have been together, and she heard stuff. So that's all she know. So she going off because, of course, I'm her property in her mind, right? About to catch a charge for real. Just I must be doing my homework. Get out of here. Your ass wasn't doing no homework. No, you might have been. You was pretty much on your stuff. You and Josephine and they're studying. Yeah, I had to explain Kathy like that, which it was humiliating. It was like, on some levels, it was helpful because she didn't go to jail. My friend didn't press charges. But on another level, it was just like, this is completely humiliating. Like, even if you were my real mom, this would be embarrassing as fuck. And the fact that you're not my real mom, but in fact, some type of twisted, messed up girlfriend, I guess, it just makes it that much worse because now I'm giving you excuses or giving excuses for you. It was bad on levels. Tiffany had the right to crack her jaw. She was so mad. Yo, Tiffany was, oh, she was pissed. Pissed. It took days to calm her down. She was so pissed. She really did want to fight her. She wanted to fight her. But since I said she was some type of mom, she was like, fuck, I can't fight your mom. But she was so pissed. What? Leo here to I see you hit dudes at the job. Come on, y'all. That was one time. Well, that incident you talking about was one time. It is some TV show type shit. That's what I be saying. Like the whole experience with Kathy. That's what I'm telling y'all. Cause I'm just like, when I look back at it, shit was hilarious. It was so funny. It was completely entertaining, full of drama, infuriating most of the time. But again, the type of shit that you would see on TV. Like, how is this my life? But it was my real life. Like, for years, she was the source of so much drama in my life. So for her to come to my school, college at that, and pick a fight with my little fake boo, just show up out of nowhere, like, that was some bullshit. And then her thing later, as of course we argued the whole rest of the time she was there, her thing was, if she's nobody, because I was like, she's nobody. She's just, a person I know. It's not that serious. What? So your daughter about to go to college. Guess I gotta keep the hood AK there. No. You taught her right. She'll be fine. She'll be all the way fine. Um, but her thing was afterwards, because I'm like, it's not that serious. She's just an associate. It's not that serious. Why you mad? You mad about nothing. And she's like, well, if it's not that serious, why don't I know her? Why didn't I know her name in advance? Why don't I have her phone number? Because she had all my friends' phone numbers. And not because I gave it to her. Because she would go through my stuff and steal them. Like, this was back in the day. So you had phone books that you wrote people's numbers in and shit. I had a Rolodex and shit like that. Or she knew the dorm number. So she knew my room number and she knew their room number. And she would call and figure out the extension. And after she talked to them once, sometime it was in person because she would pop up. So after she talked to them once, it was like they made a pact, like, it's okay for us to be in communication because you love CC and I love CC. So together we can make sure that she is safe and okay in this big world of college. It was dumb shit. See, she knew my numbers and I never gave it to her. Yeah. And I never gave it to it either. She stole it somehow. She stole it, or she called the directory and figured out the extension based on your room number. I was definitely thinking you need a webisode. I know. It's ridiculous. But if you've ever dealt with a narcissist for real, or even been in a codependent relationship, narcissists, what they'll do is they don't want you to have friends outside of them. So first of all, they're your only friend. And you'll see that they don't have many friends themselves. But if they do, they're really surface friends. Like, they're not deep on any level. Surface friends just to have fun with. They're not people who they could really count on, and they definitely can't count on the narcissist. And if they really got in a bag, yes, just like he was a fragile little white girl of Lifetime. Yeah, and she was like that copycat, like she was trying to take over my life or some shit. And so these narcissists, they don't have friends for real. And if they do, they're shallow, and they don't want you to have friends for real. Because if you tell your real friend all the things, because most people talk to their real friends for real, like on a deeper level. So if you tell your real friend all the things that they're doing, they'll help pull you out of this shit. Because they'll be like, hello, this shit is crazy. Do you see this? Do you see the 1,000 red flags? This is crazy. It's stupid. Back up. And so it doesn't usually happen because they want to block. So they want to be friends with your friends so they make sure they can block any information flow, basically. Oh, correct. This reminded me when she drilled the shit out of me about you around the time I was getting married. Okay. What year did you get married, Carell? Because I feel like this was like, I don't know. What year did you get married? 2013, 2012, 2012 or 13, something like that. I might be wrong on the year. But this was maybe 5, 6 years after I had cut her off completely. So when I say stalking, I mean stalking. And I mean to this day, I wouldn't be surprised if some evidence popped up that she's stalking still right now, because that's what they do. And so Carell got married years after I cut her off, completely cut her off. And she drilled her about me. Just like when I say she, all my friends, even my coworkers, y'all, people who I was in internship programs with, and we became coworkers, like full-time coworkers later, she would call them up and drill them about me because she felt like she had a connection with them from high school. So she called them up, drill them, ask them all the questions about me, my brother, my other friends from high school. Like it was no joke. She had no limits whatsoever. And that's how she kept tabs on me. She would ask people who knew me, and usually they didn't tell me because they didn't really think about it in the way that, I would, because they didn't know. So they usually wouldn't tell me. So I didn't know she was keeping tabs on me for the longest time. But she did. She just asked them all the questions, and whatever they knew, they update her. But after a while, I remember one friend called me one time and she's like, what's going on with you and Kathy? Are y'all still cool or what? And I was like, nope, don't talk to her at all. Haven't for like 5 years. And she's like, oh, I thought something was weird because I haven't talked to her in 10 years. And then she asked me out to lunch. We went out to lunch. We talked. And she just kept asking me questions about you. It was like the whole lunch was about you, not about me. Or, like not about her catching up with me. It was about her catching up with you. And so it was weird. And she felt uncomfortable, even though she still told her what she knew. But it was uncomfortable because that's weird. And it was obvious she was just trying to figure out stuff about me. So yeah, it was 2013. And she popped up out of nowhere, wanted to buy my cake. Oh, yes, yes, yes. And then asked 100 questions about you and Roche. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. So that was another way she would get to my friends. She wanted to buy them things. So that one friend, she bought her lunch. But that was a guy. She tried to say that she wanted to catch up with her, see how she was doing as an adult, because the last time she talked to her, she was like 17 or something, right? This friend, she wanted to buy her wedding cake so that she could talk to her about me. Other friends, like she would just buy them stuff like clothes, shoes, take them out to dinner or whatever. Offer to really get whatever they need. Like if they were struggling with something or their family was struggling with something, she will offer to pay a bill, to be a chauffeur for something, to show up for some event, like whatever she felt would make an impact. Because remember, y'all, she was a community narcissist. So the community had to see her as this wonderful person for her to get her jollies off. Like she needs that. She needs the community to see her as a good person for her to thrive. So whatever they needed, she would do, or whatever she thought they needed, she would do it. She would show up and try to be of help so that they would like her And then, of course, it was her agenda again. So then she had 100,000 questions about me stalking. Stalking. So that's what it looks like when you're with a narcissist who has no real friends. And let me tell you, she had long-term friends, like people who she had been friends with since college. So maybe she already knew them like 15 years by the time I met her. And I knew these friends and I knew all about these friends. Remember, y'all, I was a kid. I was 14, 15, and she was like 30 and told me all of the business, her friend's business, her ex business, all the business, everybody's business, y'all, real life business, their business, their husband's or wives' business, kids, other family members, all the business. It was completely inappropriate, like completely. First of all, there is no kid that interesting that you want to tell them all this adult business. Okay. No kid is that interesting. Like, I think I was a really mature child, but yeah, no kid is that interesting that I would want to talk to them like they're an adult. I just don't see it. Now that I'm an adult, I'm just like, how? Why? I don't get it. But that's a trap. It's like, I trust you implicitly. So I'm going to tell you everybody's business and make sure that you're on the front lines of all this crap so that I can hide my own crap. That's the thing. So they'll talk about everybody, but they rarely talk about themselves. And when they do talk about themselves, it is to mirror your pain and your discomfort. It's to mirror your happiness too. So whatever you think and feel and want, they think and feel and want those same things too. I'm just saying, keep your eyes open. You probably already seen it and you know somebody else who's going through it. But this stuff has to be talked about openly now. Like, we have to stop hiding. So I figured I start with me. And I mean, at this point, I'm spilling all the beans and having fun doing it. Yes, honey. Yes. So this is the KC Chronicles, Session 3. Kathy goes ham on a college student. Sad but true. Sad but true. And I did have to let my friend off the hook. She's still my friend to this day because it wasn't her fault that she told on me. She didn't know the truth. She didn't know. She thought Kathy was being a concerned mom. So she didn't really know. So it's cool. It's cool, girl. We still cool. But going forward, if somebody calling you about your friend, don't talk to their ass. I don't care who it is. Don't talk to them. It's not your business. It's not their business either. Girl code should remain intact. This is why I told you to get a book. Get a book. Write a book. I wrote a book, girl. Okay. It's not out yet. It's in editing again. Another round of editing. I got to make sure y'all not roasting me because I got simple, misspellings and little stuff like that. Okay. So the book is on its way. In the meantime, listen, we're just exposing stuff. I just want y'all to see the real. I want you to see the real. I want you to be ready. I want you to see your loved ones and see the real of their situation so you can help them. And the truth is, the foundation of all of this is that you can help yourself through these types of mental emotional traumas. And I can help you do that. And so that's what the book is all about, really. The book is called The Self-Mothering Effect. And it is a unique approach. I created a unique approach to childhood abuse, narcissistic abuse, and codependency. And so in this book, I go through the Wake healing methodology where I teach you how to heal yourself faster without drugs, without 12 years of therapy, but to really harness your own power to heal. So it's coming, y'all, and I'm super duper excited about it. And this is the KC Chronicles is just one small aspect of it. It's just, to me, it was the longest relationship, and I just feel like I have the most entertaining stories that I get to laugh at now. So I want to do that with y'all. So thank you for being here. As I'm sitting down so with my wine for next week's session. Good. Yes, Kimmy. Be ready, boo-boo. Have your drink. It's just why you will be roasted. I know. See, here we go. Here we go. She's an editor herself. Here we go. I know. All right, y'all. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like this video, share it. Come on back next Tuesday. We're back, same place, same time. And we're going to continue this conversation with another episode of the KC Chronicles. And I'm having all the fun, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. So thank you for this. There's nothing like laughing through your healing process. So yes, here for it. Thank you. Until next week, peace and love.